We are Makilala TV, the first Filipino-American TV talk show in the New York metro area. Get to know us as we talk to the community leaders, innovators, advocates, and emerging artists who affect Filipino-American life.
Have you been bullied as a student? You know, I may have been, but I don't remember now, maybe because I have willfully blocked it out of my brain, and maybe because I was among the fortunate ones who got over it. But not many do, especially in the suburbs. Others who become victims deal with it their own way. One of the most highly publicized cases is that of Tyler Clementi from Rutgers University. He was filmed during a private, intimate moment. That video was circulated around campus. He took his own life by jumping from a bridge. Now in our community, we have John Fernandez, a Seton Hall student who is believed to have committed suicide from many years of bullying. From high school to college, that's a long time. It's been 2 months since he went missing, and the police and his family are still looking for the body. With us today is John's family, his mother, NINIA Fernandez, and his sister, Kelly Fernandez. Welcome to Makilala, NINIA and Kelly. My co-hosts, Jen and Rachelle, and I, we have a lot of questions, and at the same time, our hearts go out to your family over this terrible tragedy.
Thank you.
NINIA, let's start with you. How is your family holding up?
There's good days, there's bad days. Mostly bad, but you know.
Understandably.
You try to stick together, but sometimes you fall apart. But you gotta stick together. I mean,
That's right.
Do you feel like that you're the one that's holding people and you have that pressure to keep straight face and not break down? Do you feel like that you're the person, or is there a certain person in the family?
well,
It's been mostly you, right?
yeah, mostly me. But you know, I thought I was really strong. You know, growing up, you can ask my kids. You know, I've been making the decisions sometimes,
that's right.
but nothing will train you to do this. I mean, you try to be really strong, but
NINIA, Kelly, first of all, it's taking you guys a lot of courage to be here. And I know you have a story to tell. So I guess maybe to start with, tell us like what happened so that people will know who John is and what can we do.
Let's start with that morning of December 13. Can you walk us through that day?
okay.
That's when you realized that John was missing.
Yes. The night prior to that, he went to the room and, you know, was asking for a charger. You know, he wanted to download some stuff on his iPad because he goes running once in a while. Okay, so that went by. You know, you sleep through the night. When I woke up at around 9:30 in the morning, his door, the room to his door is a little bit propped. It was clean, you know. You say, "Mo, he clean." Okay, good.
Is that unusual?
You know, sometimes, you know, when you see your kids, sometimes you just close the door because it's messy. But then this one is clean. But, you know, it's not going to be something that you notice right away because, you know, you go down, you just woke up. When I went down to the dining room, I noticed the box of his books that he rents. And it's neatly packed. And, you know, every semester you bug them that, you know, return it so you don't get extra charges. But then I said, oh, okay, maybe he just, you know, was in
Went on a cleaning streak.
Yeah, you know, so you don't really notice. So then I went on with the day and cooked brunch. But then sometime around 11, because I have everybody on iPhone, so, you know, even though I work late at night, I know where my kids are. And I've always said turn on because I don't like to see what happened to the Johnsons. You know, their daughter was dead for a week and nobody knew.
Is that a community news? Is that a local news?
Yeah, it was publicized before.
Oh, okay.
So then, you know, I looked into my app in the Find My Friends app. So
Everybody was accounted for except for JP.
except for him.
Okay.
So then you look, and he's not in his usual route of running. He's away from. He's on the west side of town. And
Oh, you
I
can
said,
actually monitor him?
Yes, you can through the
okay.
app.
All right.
I try to keep up with their generation because it's everybody talks a different language, and you
Okay.
really try because you want to communicate to your kids. So,
And then why did you decide to
then
panic?
at 11 when we started eating, I said, "Your brother's not here," and then they were laughing. "Ma, leave him alone." No, but deep inside you have that feeling already. He's
Yeah.
in trouble. So every
Well, they said
15
leave him alone because like
No.
he's an adult.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
you know,
20.
Yeah,
he could
yeah.
take care of himself.
Yeah, he's
So I
22
guess what she's
years.
saying is, as a mother, you feel like something is off.
Yes, something was really off. So you get scared. And I said, I was checking every 5-10 minutes, right, honey? Yeah. Yeah.
Where is he? Where is he? He's fine. He was going for a run. Like,
Yeah.
He'll be
Can you
back.
speak a little louder, Kelly?
Like he'll be back.
Yeah.
But he never. And then eventually, my mom just got really annoying. So I was like, Cindy, my sister Cindy, I'm like, all right, let's figure this out. Let's just have a safe peace of mind
And have lunch.
and find him. So eventually, after we ate, we decided. I was still in my PJs. I'm like, I'll just wear my UGG boots and just go out. Like, I don't think this is gonna be serious. Like, oh, we found him. He's right here. So my sister and I even decided to take my dog with me. I'm like, oh, it's a nice day out too. I'll take him with me. So we went on the bike trail, which is parallel towards the highway. Because mom's like, oh, he's near this area. Check here. He's near this building. We go there. My sister runs down the bike trail. Nothing in sight.
What time is this, and when did you decide to call in the cops?
I remember it was 12:08 and they stepped out of the door because I was guiding them to where they should find their brother. He's
That is
by
so
the-
precise.
Wow.
You remember those details because you can see them in the app actually moving.
Yeah.
So the
So,
last
yeah.
time you saw him was like the night before.
Yeah, around 11 o'clock. He went to our room looking for a charger.
Right.
So then when I said, why don't you look for him? I go have a hair appointment. Then they said, Ma, we found his phone. So I had to turn around. And then in the phone, they found one. What did you find on here?
We found his phone alongside the road in a Ziploc baggie. So we were just really concerned. And then my sister and I were just talking, and while we were searching for him near a nearby trail that we actually just found out about, and we were talking, and we're like, oh yeah, JP left his laptop downstairs. Yeah, he had his password written on a note on top of it. Oh, that's kind of strange.
You said you found a phone on the side of the road. Did that give you a bad feeling already?
Yeah, it gave us a bad feeling.
So what did the family do at that point?
At that point, I called my boyfriend because he was staying over the night, and I told him, like, can you check his laptop, like, if there's anything on there? Calls me back and said, like, honey, it's a suicide note. Call the cops.
Oh,
Call
okay.
the cops.
So you called the cops. What
It was
time
in
was
the
that?
laptop.
It's in the laptop.
It's
He
in
left
the
on the
laptop.
dining table.
And does he usually have his password open, like on the laptop?
No.
That was really odd, and we didn't notice it.
As
So
soon-
he
as soon as she
basically
opened it, it was there.
He basically left a trail for you.
Yeah.
So you call the cops
So you called the
and
cops,
Yeah.
and then what happened?
Everybody was there because it was,
What time was this? Is this at night already?
no, that was around 12.
30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
Oh,
12:30,
okay.
1 o'clock, yeah. And then they all were there, and then we started to tell, we found the suicide note. And then,
And what did the
they
cops tell
called
you?
the scuba team because there's a lake. They were afraid that he drowned himself there. And then there's the woods, as he had described in his... He left 2 suicide notes, but this is the second one that he wrote that we first saw. There was another one that he wanted us to look for.
What does it say in the suicide note? In a nutshell. Why would he want to take his life?
Because he said he was feeling self-pity and inadequate around amazing people. I mean, as Filipinos, we try to be better at our craft, so you really try to excel in everything you do because,
Yeah.
we're minority. We gotta prove ourselves.
That's
and
right. Yeah. Did he mention anything about bullying, being bullied in school?
He didn't mention that per se, but we knew that he was bullied several times.
That's right.
That there was a day when he came home with his clothes torn apart. He was
That's right.
spat on. We had to change his bus twice until he was ready to drive. Then we got him a car.
That's right. Jen is
It's
probably
hard for parents to
Jen has
it's
something
hard
to share about
comprehend.
bullying. Yeah.
Talk about bullying, and it's hard to comprehend, like, why would kids do that to your
They're
kids?
mean. Oh my God.
And then how come the parents of the kids who are bullying don't realize that their kids are bullying your kids? It's a problem. I'm not sure if it's being, I don't know the mechanics, the psychology of how this thing works. I mean, like, why kids do that. But my problem is, like, when your kid's being bullied and you approach the administration, sometimes you have to prove more than your words, saying, okay, my kid's being bullied. And so sometimes they don't really see that in action.
yeah.
And it's hard.
It's like they're asking for proof.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when your kid finally fights back against the bully, then your kid is the one who's being penalized because they're taking action for being bullied.
That's
Because
So-
that happened to my youngest daughter. She really stood up, and then she was the one who was.
Kelly, can you actually share what happened with your younger sister? Because I think you said that she was also bullied, not just your brother.
Yeah, she stood up for herself and told another classmate that I wouldn't give her the answers. Eventually, the other kids started spreading rumors about her, just nasty things that you wouldn't ever think of even saying. Eventually, she went up to the guidance counselor and told her what was happening. The guidance counselor simply said, "Oh, it's just a girl thing. It'll blow over."
Yeah, that's another thing that most of the parents say. Oh, they're just teasing each other. They're just, it builds character if someone,
And then
assaults
until they
you in a
realize
way.
that somebody has committed suicide, and then they panic because the name of the school is being attached to the instance of bullying, and then they call up the parents.
Yes.
What kind of a community do you live in? What kind of a neighborhood is that? Is this common? I mean, are there a lot of minority students, immigrant
No,
communities, immigrant families like you?
When we were when we moved in that town.
It's Middletown.
Middletown, New Jersey. It's
okay.
mostly a white community. They were in high school and in middle school, but we're the darkest people there.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think it's just the minorities being bullied. My town is predominantly not Asian, and there are kids who are white who are being bullied too. Actually,
Yeah, I don't think
it's race.
I don't think it's not just racing. It's definitely a factor. I think that people who are bullying other people, they don't realize that they're bullying. Like, people don't realize that if you're name calling or degrading somebody, they don't attach that. They think that, oh, other people are laughing. They're getting this joke. They think I'm funny because I'm making fun of them.
Let's get from Kelly some impressions of JP. Can you characterize your brother to us and tell us a little bit about John?
Well, JP at first, you definitely are going to hear him first. He has a very loud voice, but he's very
Oh, really?
he's very passionate, caring. Like, at first, like, you wouldn't sense these type of qualities until you got to know him. He loves to read manga. Out of all of our siblings, he was the most thoughtful. He puts a lot onto himself when there's problems with the family, because he feels like he should be the one to solve them.
But in school, what is he? How is he in school? Does he have a lot of friends?
In high school, very few. I think the only friends he would have would be anyone from marching band or the chess club. But other than that, JP was definitely not like everyone else at school.
Is he a quiet type?
Not quiet.
Not quiet.
He's very opinionated, and he'll stand up for himself. he shows off that he's very proudful of himself.
I think, NINIA, you were saying something about JP being a little bit of a socially awkward a little bit.
You know,
Can you describe that a little bit?
for you know, sometimes how girls would like, oh, this guy is, you know, he doesn't come off as somebody you'd like at first, but once you get to, you know, we call him, you know, an onion. You know, gotta peel the layers before you know what he truly is.
Yeah.
What he's made of.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know, he's very thoughtful if you knew him better. But at first, you know, some people, you know, because he's very bright, sometimes his vocabulary is so advanced that people think he's a nerd, you know. And then
Not bad about being a
nerd. But he's very thoughtful. You can ask Kelly about her cookies and, you know.
I had one of my calculus classes, and after my class ended, he had a class in the same room, and he just finished lunch. So that for the entire, I guess, marking period, when we did cross paths at school, he'd buy an extra cookie and he'd give it to me every single time. And I was like, "What are you doing this? Oh, cool, thanks. Yeah, I got a cookie." Like,
My siblings would never do that.
So you were in the same high school together at the same time
same
that he
time.
was being bullied.
yeah, like it wasn't just him being bullied. It was at some point,
There were other-
everyone got bullied. I got bullied.
Right. Did you ever
all,
like?
all four of you?
Did you guys ever report it to
Yeah.
the authorities? Did you ever like?
Personally, I didn't. I kind of try to keep myself away from those people. So I stayed in honors classes, and I decided to take 3 AP classes one year just because I didn't want to deal with the kids in the elective classes.
But as a family, did you sort of, because you were being bullied, did you sort of close ranks against all these people?
Not really. I think we just kind of kept it to ourselves.
That's something else about immigrant children. I think they didn't want to add this burden to their parents who are already working hard, and they didn't want to burden you with their problems at school.
No, but then you'll see it. One time there was this kid, even our neighbor, who was taunting him, you know, walking down the street. Sarap batukan.
Did you approach
Yeah,
the
you can say
parents?
that. Did you talk to the parents?
No, I talked to the kid. I said, next time you do that to my son again, watch it, you know.
Did
You're
he
gonna
stop?
regret it.
There was one
Did he
time
stop?
somebody threatened my kid, and
In front of you?
Well, no, not in front of me.
Yeah.
So my kid approached me and told me, and they were used to be close friends, and something, you know, happened, and he was threatened by this friend, like really bad. So I had to go to the principal's
yeah.
office and inform the principal that this happened, and you have to figure out a way, you know, to fix it, because I don't want my kid walking going to school.
Yeah.
Going to school like scared for his life.
Of course,
Oh,
yeah.
they
You don't
taunt
wanna
him
do that.
in the hallways. They taunted him in the hallways.
And what was the response of the principal?
They actually resolved it.
Did they talk to the parents
They
of
talked
that
to the
kid?
parents, and now the kid, you know, I think is in better place. But there's always, sometimes there's a good ending. Sometimes there's a happy ending. Sometimes there isn't one.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's like for parents out there, you have to be champion for your, you have to be the champion for your kids. I mean, I guess Filipinos sometimes, okay, it's an authority. We don't want to approach them. I'll call the police. I'll call, I'll knock into the parents' door.
I know
if
you're
can.
capable of doing that.
We've
We've seen that.
I know. He changed school buses twice.
Really?
Yeah.
He was being bullied in the school bus too?
Yes. Yes.
No, I'm not saying that you didn't. I'm saying as parents, that's what we do because we care for them.
Yeah.
And sometimes the authorities do something, and sometimes they don't.
That's right.
So
But you never know how it affects their brain, their way of thinking,
No.
how hurt they got.
Were there signs that you saw in JP that he was having problems with certain people in school?
I think for all of us, we created our own self-defense mechanism towards it. My younger sister, she does have a temper because she doesn't want to take anything from people just saying it to her face. For JP, I think the more they talked about him, the more he decided to be more himself. And
More into himself?
more of himself. And
Oh,
just
okay.
to be quirkier. be more loud. So I think people would just be more confused in that sense. For me, I just ignored it.
Yeah, Probably the best way, right?
Yeah, definitely. But it didn't really leave a good impression on me for white people for a certain amount of time. And it's something for me to learn, that I've learned in college, that at NJIT, that, you don't judge someone just by their skin. But in high school, it was definitely what I thought all the time, especially because the types of things they would say were related to race.
Yeah, high school is very,
Yeah,
it's like
it's
the
very-
jungle.
Chink, what else?
They
it's
thought
like-
we were Chinese. Well, you were part Chinese.
No, who was
Asian.
Asian, yeah. Well, tell us about the search for the body, NINIA. Do you have an update on that?
Right now, they called it as a reactive case, not a proactive case.
What does that mean?
It means that if they find leads, that's the only time they move out.
Does that mean the police have stopped searching?
Basically.
Why
Has there been
has the Filipino community contacted you in any way to offer help?
You guys. I mean,
Oh.
Well, I mean, like the Philippine consulate, the Filipino elected officials. Has anybody?
no.
I guess we have to
I don't think
I
they
don't
know.
know.
I don't think
Yeah.
they're
are
aware
aware.
that the consulate has
Well,
the service.
It's been 2 months though.
Yeah.
I mean, when did you decide as a family to go out in public? Because just because you said the police, that's really like the one resource that you've had.
Yeah, because they, at one point of the search, we can't even go out because they said that the hounds are searching, and then you had to, you also got a balance between privacy and how you want him to be out there, because there's people who will just be there for rumors and they spread you. The harassment we've received is not a joke.
Even after
from
this,
whom?
after this thing?
Harassment from whom?
While this is happening,
From whom?
from strangers.
What are they saying?
Well, they said that
You're creating the story?
my youngest daughter is more affected because she works at this Chinese restaurant. That people would just give her, here's a number to the FBI. Your brother joined the ISIS, definitely.
Oh, that kind of a
Okay,
taunting.
and she actually cries when she gets home.
horrible.
Some will rumor monger, and they said we murdered our son. Really?
That's that's part
That's
of
way
the,
below the belt,
That's true.
You know, so there's some things that. Do you want to share? I'm sure everybody has skeletons in their closet. Are you in that comfort zone?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
not. And you know what? Our focus then was to, what is the lead? We opened up his laptop, his phone, everything. I mean, looked at his cache files, all his search engines, and he uses 2 or 3. I've hacked all his accounts, and your focus is to just find him.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you try to figure out, how am I gonna get him out there? And then I reach out to my
How has
friends.
this affected you as a family? Did it make you closer? Did it, I don't know, introduce more tensions within the family?
Maybe
How are you?
Honey can answer that because she's.
It definitely has its moments. For my sister and I, we've definitely gotten a lot closer. We're just trying. If we're frustrated with our parents or frustrated with each other, we usually talk it out, vent it out. But eventually, we come back together.
Do you have a support group? I'm saying like a priest that you talk to, or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
need
something
that,
like
or
We've-
a counselor.
A counselor,
This
yeah.
is such a trying moment.
Yeah.
Very, we have a prayer warrior at the church. She calls.
Oh, you
calls
go to a
me.
church. That's very good, yeah.
She calls me. She calls. We put her on speaker. All of us will pray.
Is this a Filipino person?
No, she's not. She's actually a Christian, Jewish.
Oh.
Very
If
nice
yeah.
lady. This is somebody that we didn't know before, and sometimes you see the kindness in strangers.
That is so true.
There's one missionary that is constantly helping us. He goes out on his own searching.
Yeah.
But we try because right now you don't have time. Even if you say you can go to a counselor, how could you? I had to go to work. That keeps me sane.
That's good.
But then while at work, you do your research, you do X, Y, and Z.
Is your office supportive? Like,
Oh yeah.
they understand when you have to take off at some point?
When I took off, I have no more vacation time. I had zero. I was lucky enough that my staff and my coworkers donated more than 500 hours of PTO time to me. Because otherwise, I won't get a paycheck.
Oh my God.
Actually, I took off for 3 or 4 weeks, so that's 2 paychecks that I was paid because out of the kindness of my coworkers.
That's good.
And when I came back, they were very supportive. They left me alone. I can close the door. Took a while to get acclimated to going back to work because your brain is someplace else. You as a mom, you worry: is he cold? It's cold. Did he eat?
Do you
Did
have
he
a
take
feeling,
a shower?
Do you have a feeling that it is really suicide or it could be something else? What does your maternal gut feel tell you?
How am I going to say this? Before he left, I had that feeling that he's in trouble. And
He's in trouble.
know he's
You know
in
it.
trouble.
Yeah. Anyway, we are about to round up our episode. Do you have any final appeal, Nina? John might be
Yeah, if you
out
see, if
there.
you see John,
Yeah.
what would you tell him?
JP, come
JP.
home. Everything will be fine. I mean, we miss you and we love you dearly. And if you only knew how lucky you are to have your friends and family look for you, you're not going to do this.
Yes. Unfortunately, that's about all the time we have. This issue is so important for our community. We hope that through this show, we have opened a little door for further discussions. Thank you, Nina and Kelly, for coming on the show and sharing the story of JP. The three of us, Jen, Rachelle, and myself, are hoping your family finds closure and solace soon. To our viewers, thank you for watching Makilala, and catch us again on MNN. Thank you.